Alright, considering what Declan Rice has just done to Ireland, let's take a look at a combined 11 of England players that have turned down their national team. Paul Robertson. Remember about 10 years ago when England were genuinely considering calling up the likes of Manuel Almunia and Carlo Cudicini? The goalkeeping crisis was getting so bad they were nearly searching through the passports of the local takeaway guys. No wonder the emergence of Joe Hart was seen as the second coming of Gordon Banks. Paul Robertson's England career had been laden with mistakes, and in August 2010 pulled out of the squad and retired from England at the age of 30, saying,
"As a professional who wants every chance to play football, I do not see myself as number 3 or number 4 goalkeeper. I find that role very frustrating."
Well, maybe you should have thought of that before you decided to kick fresh air against Croatia. Luke Young. In November 2009, Glenn Johnson was forced to pull out of the England squad to face Brazil, so Fabio Capello turned to Luke Young, who's doing well at Aston Villa. Considering the 30-year-old only had 7 caps, you'd have thought he'd jump at the opportunity, but it had been a tough time for him. His form had only just returned after coming to terms with the death of his half-brother, so I decided to sit this one out. Micah Richards. I know what you're thinking, where the hell is Micah Richards and what has happened to his career? He's still at Aston Villa but hasn't played a minute of football since October 2016, when this channel had about 20 subscribers and I still lived in a bin. But there was once a time when Richards actually turned down his country, refusing to be put on standby for Euro 2012 because he wanted to go to the Olympics with Team GB to play in the same team as Jack Cork, Craig Bellamy and Marvin Sordell. Jamie Carragher. Remember that time Jamie Carragher turned down an England call-up in August 2007, ending with him ringing up TalkSport to scream down the phone how he wasn't a bottler. Maybe not a bottler, Jamie, but I'd definitely roll up my windows if you drove past me on the A1. Wayne Bridge. I know what you're thinking. What must it take for a bang-average fullback to turn down a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to represent your country at a World Cup? Probably the fact that you were sharing a hotel with the same fellow who spent 3 months porking your missus. The relationship between Wayne Bridge and John Terry was dead in the water, with the media effectively ending their backup left-back's international career by releasing the scoop 4 months before the damn tournament. What is it with the English media and self-sabotage before World Cups? All to get that juicy headline. For God's sake, if the media just kept their mouths shut, Bridge and Terry would have shook hands and would probably have got on like a house on fire out in South Africa. David Bentley. Remember when David Bentley was proclaimed as the second coming of David Beckham? I mean, he had no pace, could cross the ball, and had a similar haircut and name. But unlike Beckham, this fellow was washed up on a beach in Spain at the age of 29. In May 2007, he rejected a place in the Under-21 European Championship squad, letting Stuart Pearce know he'd rather recover. Why do I get the feeling he just spent that summer downing Jaeger bombs off a nun's arse down the Magaluf strip clubs? Danny Drinkwater. Danny Drinkwater. Yes, Danny Drinkwater. When he's turning you down, you know things are bad. Danny Drinkwater, a man who's been left in the cupboard under the stairs at Chelsea, declined to call up in November 2017, claiming he wasn't fit enough. 3 months into the season, a full-time Premier League professional didn't think he was fit enough. What was he doing, scoffing down KFC for 3 weeks straight? I'm sorry, but Danny Drinkwater turning down England is like Jennifer Lawrence getting rejected by a 40-year-old plumber with a belly the size of a fridge freezer. Paul Scholes. We know the age-old debate, who's the better player, Lampard, Gerrard or good old Paul Scholes? Well, we know what Sven-Göran Eriksson thinks. Damn, could that secretary's skirt be any shorter? But also, let's play Paul Scholes on the wing. Didn't really work out for Sven, considering Scholes chucked in the towel after Euro 2004, probably in disgust at having been shoved out wide, when he's clearly one of the best passers the country's ever produced. Age 29, he decided to focus solely on Man United. 4 years later, Fabio Capello was begging him out of retirement. Wouldn't be the first manager to do so. The Italian was probably telling him that he wasn't insane enough to put him in the team just to cross the ball and cover Ashley Cole, but no, Scholes still chose not to go to South Africa. Tom Ince. I never understood the hype around Tom Ince. Maybe it was because his dad was a former England captain, but the lad who chose Hull over Inter Milan refused to play for the Under-21s in March 2015, with the fans effectively preparing the stake to burn him at. To be fair, he was 23 years old and still getting called up to the Under-21s, which is a bit like still turning up to that nightclub you attended back when you were 18, 5 years later. He said,
"For me, I was in a situation where I was the oldest man in the squad and I felt it was time to let someone younger take the opportunity."
Wilfried Zaha. People really need to stop underestimating Wilfried Zaha and stop letting him go. That's both Man United and England who closed the door on him. The kid probably has serious abandonment issues. According to Zaha, England rejected him, so that's why he chose to play for the Ivory Coast. But according to Gareth Southgate, he tried to talk Zaha around, but it was too late. Chris Sutton. In February 1998, Chris Sutton effectively ended his international career after just 11 minutes of football, choosing to pull out of Glenn Hoddle's B squad against Chile B. At least he finally realises his stupidity now, saying recently,
"I'm pretty ashamed about the way I behaved. Glenn picked the squad and put me in the B squad and I was really angry. And like an idiot, I phoned Glenn and told him where to shove England B, and Glenn said you'll never play for England again, and he was right."